How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at customizing your bike to set it apart from all the other factory bikes that are out on the trails, just by simply switching out your decals to give it your own personal flair. I've decided to go with a medium blue that I think will stand out well from the matte gray Muddy Waters color of my Evil Calling. Plus, I'll also be switching out the decals to the suspension just to color match those to give the bike a uniform look, and I'll add those links at the end of this video. I worked for a few years at a graphic design shop doing screen printing, vinyl decals, and I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks from my time doing that job because this is something that anybody has the ability to do. So here's a few tools you may need for the process, and let's get started. Anytime that you're going to be replacing vinyl graphics on anything, you want to make sure the surface is completely clean. So make sure your bike, since it's probably dirty from one of your many rides, is completely clean. Wipe it down, get all the dirt particles off of it, make sure it's perfectly clean. After you've done that, any of the graphical spots that you're going to be switching out, you want to make sure that you wipe them down with isopropyl alcohol. Just simply give them a good clean wipe to make sure you get any soap residue, dirt, any of that additional stuff off of there. Now, one of the tips that I like to use just in making sure that you keep your graphics lined up is if you're just simply switching one graphic to another with the same size, is just to simply put down a line of painter's tape, and that's going to give you a straight line, which makes it a lot easier to apply the new graphic. Now, as you can see, when you're peeling it off, all you do is just use your fingernail, start working up the edge of the vinyl graphic, and just keep working your way through until it's all peeled off. Once removed, you're going to have the adhesive residue that's along the edge of the decal, which gets left behind. Just give that a simple wipe down with isopropyl alcohol. It'll remove everything from the location you're adding the decal to. One of my friends was kind enough to custom cut these graphics for me to match the logos that are currently on my bike to make for an easy switch. Since these graphics were custom cut, I am using a squeegee just to make sure I have a good adhesion between the transfer tape and the vinyl decal. Transfer tape is just a temporary adhesive. It's not necessarily going to be more powerful than the backing of the vinyl. So you want to pull at an angle to remove the transfer tape with the vinyl decal from the backing. As you go to apply the graphic, this is where you find out how important the straight line from the painter's tape is. What I'll do is I'll make a mark that will be where in this case, the top of the E is going to be on the tube, and then I'll slowly start working the graphic around to line it up with the graphic that's on the opposite side of the bike. You'll notice that I'm just using my thumb here to press the graphic down. With a vinyl decal of this size, there's not much worry about getting air bubbles behind the letters. You just want to take care to make sure that you're moving in small increments, working your way around the tube and not trying to go too far too quickly so you don't end up with wrinkles or bubbles. Now it's as simple as following the same steps and just keep repeating them as you work your way around to each of the decals that are currently on the bike. So you just set your painter's tape line. Once you got your straight edge, you go through and remove the graphic, and then you use the painter's tape line to line up the new graphic. Once the graphic is off, wipe it down again with isopropyl alcohol, giving that good clean surface, which will make it easier to get that new graphic applied. You may notice that Evil uses a paper decal for the frame size decal, so I've removed that. I'll have to give that a really good wipe down with the isopropyl alcohol just to make sure the surface is clean. I'll be replacing it with the really nice Evil logo. You'll also notice on this backing I had trouble getting the vinyl, probably due to the smaller size of the letters, but getting that vinyl to peel off of the backing. If you just increase the angle that you're removing the backing from the transfer tape, it shouldn't be an issue getting that removed. Now with the straight line painter's tape removed, I'm just going through the process of lining up the new logo that I'll have on the back of the bike, which I think looks 1,000 times better than the old frame size that was on there. So I'm just using a straight edge just to make sure I had it lined up and centered with the other logo. I also added this custom calling logo to the top tube just to give it a more unique look. Now that the blue vinyl graphics are on the frame, I need to go through and take care of the suspension, so I'm going to include links to those videos here at the end of the video. Hopefully the video has helped you out and made the process look a little less daunting, and you've now got the confidence to switch out your graphics. As always, if this was helpful, throw me a like and a subscribe. I appreciate it.